The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty with the older brother Kelton here. Today, we're going to be talking about the protests. Now, there's protests all around the world. Germany pretty much has one every night. A lot of European countries have them. South Korea, Australia, you name it, it's happening. However, now the news media don't cover those, or they'll cover them for like once and then that's it. They think, oh, it's only one time deal and it's not happening again, which is complete and utter BS. And to tell you what's even more BS is New York City. They've actually been having protests for several nights, several weekends, but yet you don't hear much from CNN or NBC or MSNBC. Not even Fox News has really covered it. New York Post have a couple articles on it here and there, but um, they don't show the videos. They just have like one picture and that's it, and make you think that it's a small little thing, which it's not. Now, not in this video, but in other videos, I will share those videos and make a whole thing, not only for New York City, but for the rest of the world as well. Reason why I'm not sharing any videos in this one is time restraints for editing or whatever. Unfortunately, this is not my regular job, and things has to be done. It's called life. However, what I can do is give you the information and give you at least the sources and the links of where I've got some of these videos and stuff from. Now, New York, I definitely want to cover today because these protests just didn't happen overnight or even this past year. It's actually started, at least all from what I'm going back, all the way to December. Now, there was one protest in September, and I know there was more in October and November, but I'm not going to cover those, like I said, just because of the fact I got plenty just in the past month alone. But it all started in September when they started the vaccine passport to eat at restaurants, and three black people were turned away saying that they're COVID. They claimed that the waitress said that the COVID vaccine card they had were fake. BLM actually went out there and started protesting, and it just all went downhill or uphill, depending on how you see it, from there. Um, Now, on December 14th and December 15th, these restaurants and stuff, some of them been enforcing the vaccination card requirement, some has not. The ones have not called the police to get the people arrested for trespassing. You're trespassing on public property. Because we're a private business, we're going to do what we want. Well, maybe people shouldn't eat at that private business and see the hours go down and it come crashing down. Now, it's also chains of restaurants, but like I said, if the one chain goes down, another one enforces it, another one don't. Eat the one that don't enforce it. Um, Even Staten Island Mall, in December 14th video, they went into a food court. The security guard asked for the vaccine passport. They said they would not comply. Security guard said, "Hey, that's your prerogative. Have a great evening." Some of these people, uh, who's even doing checking for it, agrees that there should not be any passports. He could have, as a security guard, could have said, "Oh, you can't come in," but he didn't. He said, "That's your prerogative. Let them in." He did not call the police or anything like that. And I think a lot of these are the same way. It's your body, your choice. Do what you want. We're not going to enforce these tyrannical dictatorship mandates. However, there are some restaurants that complies, and we'll all know those were probably the same people that would complied with the Nazi rules in Germany. And yes, I did say that out loud. But December 15th, six was arrested for refusing to show proof of vaccination at a cheesecake factory. The next night, there was protesters there, happened in Queens. Um, and there's been protests in multiple restaurants. Let's see. Like I said, the food court on December 14th, Well, at least that's when the video posted. I don't know when it actually happened. They didn't call the cops or nothing. The next night after the Cheesecake Factory incident, 3 people arrested at Applebee's, also in Queen and in the same mall. We know which mall the people has to start protesting because it seems that that mall wants to make sure they enforce the tyrannical, unlawful mandates and ordinances. Now, one thing that I'm also going to cover here is on New York on December 17th. The governor of New York wants to have a vaccine mandate for school kids by the next school year. So I guess there'll have to be some protesting against the schools as well. But December 19th, a veteran was arrested for a third time for trying to eat at restaurants at a Panera Bread in Brooklyn. There was also several sit-ins at other Panera Breads, but only one called the cops. And these cops, instead of actually chasing real criminals, they're arresting people who are sitting in public places because they don't have their papers. Sounds familiar? I thought this was the 2020s, not the 1930s. Um, on December 27th, people arrested out at a Burger King for refusing to show proof of vaccination. Also in Brooklyn, protests happened outside of Eric Adams' home before he became mayor against the mandates. Um, a video surfaced on December 28th of a child. Because a child didn't have proof of vaccination, the family was told to get out of the restaurant because in New York, your children 5 and up have to have proof of vaccination to eat there now. So yes, and to go in buildings and stuff. It's not just happening to adults, but children too. Sorry, kid, it might be your birthday, but you know what? You don't have a vaccination, so you can't celebrate it. On January 3rd, protesters was outside Mayor Adams' house. Um, you know, he started looking good, but then he said he's going to keep all those vaccine mandates in place, which that didn't surprise me. It is New York, and he is a Democrat. Um, on January 14th, protesters arrested at a Times Square Olive Garden. Same thing, no proof of, didn't want to show proof of vaccination. And instead of arresting people who are actually doing crimes, you're literally, and it's funny, it's not even 1 or 2 officers. They have a multitude of officers. Where are they at? Why aren't they on patrol? Why aren't they making sure no one gets raped or murdered? Like that one guy who pushed a woman into a subway. I think it was actually on the same night as the Olive Garden, or maybe another night. I don't know. Um, I'm just speculating. But how about all the other crimes? You're so more worried about. Eric Adams say we're going to get tough on crime. Which crime are you getting tough on? Your crime of not having a vaccination card, or actual crime? Are you lost your ways as a police officer who's supposed to uphold the Constitution and protect and serve the people? Because you're not serving the people, you're serving the government. And don't use the excuse, oh, it's the law. A lot of German officers said it was the law and they were following orders when they took the Jews down to the concentration camps. Um, and for all those who say, oh, you shouldn't make a comparison, it is the same comparison. It didn't start overnight it didn't start right off. It started in steps. And the steps are getting bigger and bigger. And there's only a couple things going to happen, and none of them are good. So use your brain on that one. And if you have any difference of opinions, if you want to debate that the mandates are constitutional and the ordinances are constitutional, then please show me in the Constitution where mandates supersede the United States Constitution. Because the last time I checked, and every law agrees, the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It supersedes every other law and any ordinance or mandates or executive orders. The president is not above the Constitution. He's beneath it. He's supposed to serve the Constitution. Congress is supposed to serve the Constitution. The police takes an oath to the Constitution. But hey, I guess in this twisted world, you want to twist the narrative to make people think that the Constitution is just a piece of paper. Well, it's not. It is a supreme law of the land and tells you your do's and don'ts. And that's just my opinion. If you have a difference of opinion, feel free to comment on here. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely share this because the news media is not telling you about all these protesters or anything like that. And if you have any topics you want us to discuss, brothersliberty76@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And once again, this is the older brother of liberty reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be.